Hey guys, today we're taking a look at an adapter. Yes, this is the Commlite EN-EF1 Pro. But wait, haven't we discussed this adapter before? Why, yes we have. But that was with the old firmware. Now, if you purchase one of these adapters, it comes equipped with the V06 firmware. And they've updated the firmware to support more Nikon lenses. Now, if you're new to this product, allow me to show you. This is what we're talking about. And what this handy little device does is connect Nikon lenses to Sony bodies, and it delivers autofocus. Now, when the first version of this adapter came out, it was widely panned in reviews because the firmware simply wasn't up to the task of supporting many Nikon lenses. But Commlite has improved the firmware, and I've been using this setup for the past several weeks in Wyoming, most frequently with my 85mm 1.8G Nikon lens. I love the lens, and I really have been wanting to use the lens with my Sony bodies. Well, guess what? With the previous firmware, this combination was unusable. With the new firmware, it's a great combination. So for me, this new firmware has been a significant leap forward. I'm happy to report the focusing now is quite fast and accurate. Commlite provides a list of all the new lenses that are supported in the Nikon range. My hunch is that it works particularly well with the prime focal lengths. You know, these new Sony bodies are equipped with in-body image stabilization, and I really like having a prime lens on the body and then manually dialing in the image stabilization to the body so that I know that I'm getting a stabilized shot. Now I can pair my 85 1.8G Nikon lens and have autofocus and image stabilization with my 42 megapixel A7R II body. So my overall impression is that the new firmware is a significant improvement. Now, with that said, I've also used this adapter with the new firmware with my Nikon 200 to 500mm lens, and my results there have been kind of mixed. And I think it may go back, one, to the image stabilization, because if you're dealing with the zoom, there were times when the focusing was very much hunting with a 200 to 500mm lens, and it was a little bit frustrating. I definitely missed out on a few shots of big bull moose because my camera was struggling to focus using this adapter. However, I found that with the 85mm, the focusing is very fast and accurate. And so I really have loved using this combination, the 85mm on my Sony A7R II. If you already own the adapter, you can get in there on the Commlite site and download the new firmware. If you choose to get one of these adapters, you have to temper your expectations. These Nikon lenses are not going to focus as quickly and effectively as they would on Nikon bodies. Not even close. Nor will they focus as quickly as native Sony lenses would focus on Sony bodies. So don't expect native lens performance. Instead, expect an adapter that will occasionally work very well and sometimes not at all. I'm afraid that's the nature of the beast when adapting Nikon lenses to Sony bodies and expecting any kind of autofocus. It's kind of like that old saying about the talking dog. What he says is not so important. It's just the fact he's talking at all. If you want your Nikon lenses to talk to your Sony camera bodies with autofocus, this is your only option. People's experiences with this device seem to run the gamut. It works very well for some of us and not so well for others. So I encourage you to read reviews and do a little homework and decide whether it will work for you. Ultimately, it may depend on what kind of camera you're bringing to the party. For example, the focusing system of the A7R II, which I'm using, is a bit more advanced than that of the A7 II. And if you have one of the newer Sony cameras that's compatible with this device, it may work even better for you. Caveat emptor. If you don't already own the adapter, of course there will be a link in the description beneath this video. You can click that affiliate link and check out other reviews of the Commlite Again, it's all about the new firmware, and I really hope that Commlite continues to develop this firmware because they've done good work with this go-round. So that's it, guys. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. If you're new to my little photo channel here on YouTube, reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. Please subscribe, and also check out our other channel here on YouTube, Long Long Honeymoon, where we use this photo gear to make travel videos. Until next time, see ya.